Hey yo, Pyro motherfucking Mayfield. Dope boy fresh. Woo.
Dope boy fresh from my head to my feet, bitch. Dope boy fresh, serving fiends in the street, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I'm a monkey on them trees, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I know they see me. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh, I know they see me. Dope boy fresh, I be cleaner than a mannequin. Dope boy fresh, in these streets ain't no panicking. Dope boy fresh, yes I lead by example, and I'm dope boy fresh. My nigga, I wasn't handed shit. I pass niggas like a damn assist. I ball out like a big shot. I am the man it is, and her ass and throws like a flip flop. Rolling blunts of that tree chopping, it's in the wind like a T-top. I rock steady and bebop, my nigga, I'm on cloud nine. Trap star, I'm cool, nigga. Pass the ball like it's school, nigga. Strapped up with the tool, nigga, and I'm dope as fuck. Spoon with it, spin it up, that check hoes, then get dope, boy, fresh hoes. Stop worrying about the next hoe, my nigga. Now let go. And I'm a neat freak, I beat beats, I grip the green like new cleats. I'm a street geek, never retreat unless it's on vacation. I get it poppin' like bacon. Her drawers dropping, she naked, cause the top spot is taken. I'm fresh as fuck. Dope boy fresh from my head to my feet, bitch. Dope boy fresh, serving fiends in the street, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I'm a monkey on them trees, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I know they see me. Dope boy fresh season.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to the show, brand new edition of Sentell's Intel live on Facebook. I am your host, the sensational Sentell Wideman. And once again, thank you if you're watching. Thank you for getting in. We surely appreciate you. Got a pretty good show today. Gonna break down this top 20 quarterbacks in college football heading into the 2017 season, according to College Football News. That is not my list. This is College Football News website's list, not mine. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, who's too high, who's too low, who should be on the list. So we'll get into that. Also, the MLB All-Star Game is tonight. National League versus American League. AL starter is Chris Sale. National League starter is Matt Scherzer of the Washington Nationals. So if you want to tune into that, we can. Also, the SEC Media Days have started if you've been living up under a rock. They began yesterday with Arkansas, LSU, and Tennessee. They continued today with Georgia, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and Florida. So any of those things you want to talk about, we'll get into the list in just a few minutes. But we're going to start the show off. I'm going to begin with this. I'm going to start the show by talking about the Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor press conference. It's the first of 4 that they're going to have. That was very entertaining. Those two young men, well, Floyd's an old man, Conor's a young man, but those two guys can sell a fight. That was very entertaining. I took a few little things from it. A lot of profanity, for one. Conor saying that he's going to knock Floyd Mayweather's ass out within 4 rounds. I thought that was great. Floyd calling Conor McGregor a bitch on numerous occasions. I thought that was wonderful. So very entertaining. Cannot wait to August 26th. I know it's not going to be a great fight, but the build-up will be great. The fight won't be worth a damn, but we'll all pay $100 for it because 50% of us want to watch to see Floyd Mayweather win, and the other 50% of us want to watch Floyd Mayweather get his ass kicked. So that's the draw. But for those of you who think Floyd Mayweather's going to get his ass kicked, you will be sadly mistaken, and you will be very, very disappointed at the end of August the 26th. I do not think Floyd will knock him out, but I do think he will beat on him for 12 rounds. And for Conor, I would take the $150 million too. If somebody told me I could just stand there and get beat up, way better option than the UFC, where his last fight, he made about $3 million in a sport where you can die. I'm not saying you can't die in boxing, but UFC is a whole different animal. He won't get hurt fighting Floyd. So go in there for $150 million, get beat up for 12 rounds, 2 or 3 days you feel better, and you got $150 million in the bank. There's a reason why Dana White did not want Conor McGregor to take the fight initially without getting a big cut, because he knows that Conor McGregor is probably done with UFC. And if I'm Conor McGregor's family or his handlers or agents, yeah, you're done with UFC. There's no reason to go back into the octagon to make a top purse of $2 million to a sport where you can get hurt badly for a couple $1 million when you just made $150 in a boxing match. Your first ever and only boxing match, you're going to make $150 million. So why in God's name would you ever go back to UFC to make $1 million or $2 million here or there? So that's what a lot of the holdup was about for the UFC, because they know they're going to lose their cash cow. So they made sure that they got their cut of the money. So big up to those guys tonight for that press conference. Entertained the hell out of me. Like I said, the build up and the hype will be way, 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 way better than the actual fight itself. It's just going to be another one of those boxing clinics. Floyd doing what he does. And at the end of the night, I expect Michael Buffer to say, and still reigning undisputed, undefeated champion of the world, 50-0 Floyd Mayweather. And if you think otherwise, you are crazy. You can have hope, and you can believe in miracles, and you can believe in the Easter Bunny, you can believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. Floyd Mayweather is not losing to Conor McGregor on August the 26th. No way, no how. But like I said, the hype and the build-up for this fight will be great. If this first press conference is anything like the rest of these press conferences and the weigh-in and it's going to be, then yeah, it's going to be fun. These two of the best trash talkers in sports today sharing the same arena. So it was good TV. So that's where I want to begin. But I'm going to dive into this college football. No, Carl, no, don't tell your kids that, okay? But me and you grown, so I'm going to tell you, no, there is no Santa Claus. So we're going to dive into this top 20 quarterbacks list. According to College Football News, it came out last week. I wasn't on after it came out, so I waited till the day to kind of get into it, look at it, and break it down. There's a couple people who on this list who's not on here that I'm kind of surprised are not on here. And there's some people on here that maybe I think shouldn't be on here. And there's definitely people who's higher than people that definitely shouldn't be higher than. So let's get into this list. And I'll start with 20. I'll start from the top. From the bottom. At 20, a surprise to me. I was surprised when I was pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised yet and still to see this man's name at 20. Coming in at 20 is Kelly Bryant Jr., Clemson junior quarterback. The guy from College Football News goes on to say, remember there was a concern about replacing Taj Boyd not all that long ago. It's not saying that Bryant would be Deshaun Watson, but he will be fabulous. That's not my words. Those are his words, and that is very high praise to even say he didn't say with Deshaun Watson, but he says he's pretty close. So to me, that's even high praise. I was surprised to see him on the list, not having started a game. He's only appeared in 11 games. He's only thrown 35 passing attempts. So I was surprised, but pleasantly surprised to see Kelly Bryant Jr. at 20. At number 19 is Brandon Wimbush Jr., another guy who hasn't played or started a game. He's a junior quarterback for Notre Dame. He says that Deshaun Kaiser will start for Cleveland and that Malik Zaire will probably start at Florida. but Wimbush might be a better fit than both of them at Notre Dame this coming season. That is yet to be determined. Notre Dame coming off a 4-8 season, so it'll be interesting to see. But they have Brandon Wimbush at 19, so high praise for that guy. At 18, a guy who actually started last year, Austin Allen, senior quarterback for Arkansas. He says, lost in the shuffle of great quarterbacks, Allen will once again put up big numbers without the national fanfare. He'll throw for close to 3,500 yards again. I like Austin Allen. Last year he did go for 3,400 yards last year, 25 TDs, and he completed 61% of his passes. You expect him to be better, a little bit better this year. The weapons around him are not great weapons, but they have good enough talent around him for him to duplicate those numbers. I would agree with that. At 17, another quarterback who didn't play last year, but he played 2 years ago, that would be Jarrett Stidham, the transfer to Auburn. In his sophomore year, his redshirt freshman year at Baylor, he threw for 12 TDs and 2 interceptions and completed 6 to 8% of his games. He only played in 8 games, though, so he didn't start the whole season. But those are great numbers in 2015. The guy says the hype is through the roof for the Baylor transfer to be to take the Auburn offense to a whole nother level. Expect more of a passing game to go along with the devastating ground attack. I do agree. I like Jerry Stidham a lot. Very talented guy. Was a 5-star out of high school. So it'll be interesting to see him. At 16 is Justin Herbert, if you haven't heard of him. Sophomore quarterback from Oregon. This guy says he's the next great Oregon quarterback. Says he might not be the runner that new coach Willie Taggart would prefer. But he will hold his own against Pac-12 competition. He's played in only 8 games last year. He threw 19 TD passes. He had 1,900 yards, but completed 63% of his passes. So, as a freshman, so be interesting to see Mr. Justin Herbert. He's at 16. At 15 is a name people should recognize, DeAndre Francois, and this is one of my first part of the list where I go, this guy should be a whole lot higher than 15. That's just my opinion. After proving to be one of the toughest quarterbacks in the country last year, now the team will become his. If he and FSU can beat Alabama to start the season, the Heisman hype will start. I like DeAndre Francois. They call him Frenchie. He showed me a lot last year. He's tough. He took a lot of punishment last year, but kept getting up. Threw for over 3,300 yards last year, over 20 TDs. Now you got to get a little bit better in the accuracy-wise. He only completed 58% of his passes, but there was nobody tougher and had the makeup of this guy. He is a first-year starter, so I like this guy a lot. I think he should be higher than 15, but that's just me. Moving on. At 14 is a quarterback many of you may not be familiar with because he plays for Toledo. His name is Logan Woodside. And the guy says, who led the nation in touchdown passes last year? That would be this guy. One of the most efficient quarterbacks in the nation. He threw for 4,100 yards and 45 TD passes with only 9 picks. So you can expect more of the same. He'll be a senior this year. So look out for Logan Woodside of the Toledo Rockets. Moving along. If you want to, the lines are open. So if you want to get in here and make a phone call, you can. So if you want to break up my list, you're more than welcome to. That number is 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. So if you want to get in here, you can while I'm doing this list. If you want to jump in and say, whoa, wait a minute. Who's did what? Who's on this list? Why is this person not on the list? You're more than welcome to. Also, there was a poll question tonight because we're going to discuss some rivalries in just a few minutes in college football. I asked, what is the best college football rivalry right now in college football? Right now. Not 10 years ago, not 20 years ago. What is the best college football rivalry right now? I asked that question on my poll question tonight. I had Ohio State beat Michigan, Florida State Clemson, Oklahoma State Oklahoma, Auburn and Alabama. I have my pick. It's, to me, the best rivalry in college football right now is clearly Clemson and Florida State. Just because of the national rankings, because of the division outtake of the game. It usually means a whole lot. Both teams have been really good the last 5 years. So, to me, that is the best rivalry in college football right now. But we'll discuss that in a few minutes. I'm going to continue with this list. I stopped at 14 with Logan Woodside. Toledo, if you're just joining me, this list is the top 20 quarterbacks heading into the 2017 season, according to College Football News website. At 13 is a name most of you should know. Luke Falk, senior at Washington State. Is he the most talented quarterback ever under Mike Leach? Who knows? The programs would like to get their shot at him, but he has one more year of throwing for over 4,000 yards for the Cougars. A lot of pro prospects are in love with Luke Falk. And speaking of a guy that a lot of pro prospects are in love with, the next guy on the list who is at 12, and I'm assuming he's at 12 because he plays for Wyoming. But as a pro prospect, I heard his name mentioned as one of the top 2 to 3 quarterback prospects coming up in this next year's draft. So he's 12 on this list of college quarterbacks heading to this season. His name is Josh Allen, the junior. And like I said, he goes to school at Wyoming. That's right. That's what I said. He goes to school at Wyoming. Let that sink in for a minute. Yeah, he probably would have been a top 10 quarterback this year in the draft if he had to come out according to this. But he has to cut down the interception and needs to be more accurate. But for the size and the strength, all of that other stuff you look for in a quarterback, he has it all. He threw for 28 touchdown passes last year, 3,200 yards, almost 70% of his completion. So Josh Allen, the junior from Wyoming, checks in at 12. At 11 is Brett Rippon, junior from Boise State. Lost in all the Josh Allen love was that Rippon was an All-American West quarterback last year. Mountain West quarterback last year. He threw for 400 yards more than Allen and had 7 fewer picks. Brett Rippon, 3,600 yards, 24 TDs, and completed 61% of his passes. He's at 11. So if you're just joining, breaking down this list of quarterbacks according to College Football News. We have made our way to the top 10. I'll get to those 10 in just a few minutes. But like I said, once again, the lines are open if you want to get in and discuss said list or bring up some other topics that you might want to bring up. We are open for business around here on this show today. Anything is on the table. We're at 10. Coming in at 10 is Quentin Flowers, senior quarterback from South Florida. Last year, he had a monster year. I mean, he ran for 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns. He threw for 2,800 yards and had 24 more touchdowns. This guy is an absolute elite playmaker. Known for being one of the elite running quarterbacks, he's also among the most efficient passers. Now he'll put up massive numbers for Charlie Strong, who's the new head coach at South Florida. Willie Taggart is no longer there. He's out at Oregon. So in comes Charlie Strong from Texas. So Quentin Flowers at 10 on this list. At number 9, a guy who 2 years ago was looked at as the next big thing at quarterback. He's number 9 on this list, but it's all about one thing when it comes to Josh Rosen Jr. at UCLA: health, and health. And he needs to have some big wins. Sam Darnold might have passed by Rosen as the star of the Pac-12, but that could quickly change if Rosen can stay in one piece. He could carry UCLA to a conference championship. I am not buying that. That Jim Moore Jr. ship has been sailed on me. I am not. No. But I do like Josh Rosen. I loved him as a freshman. But like last year was just a terrible year. Not healthy. They didn't have a great year as a team. So just a lot of inconsistency from Mr. Josh Rosen last season. At 8, Jalen Hurts. I think he's too high on this list. Who knows what kind of improvements he's made during the offseason, but he's not better than a lot of the quarterbacks I just named. There's no way he's better than these guys. So he's at 8. Blow off the poor passing performance in the college football playoff. He'll once again be an effective passer to go along with the slippery, smooth rushing ability. And I like the cat as a running. I like him. He's very mature. He's strong. But he's not better than some of these quarterbacks I just named. There's no way I would have him ranked ahead of some of these guys. But it's not my list. He checks in at 8. Jalen Hurts checks in at 8 in this top 20 countdown of the best quarterbacks heading into the season. At 7 is Nick Fitzgerald of Mississippi State. Yeah, some will say Dak Prescott effect might overhype Fitzgerald, but throwing for 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns and running for another 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns on a mediocre team with the Dallas Star. Watch out if the 6'5", 230-pound Fitzgerald rises up the NFL draft charts. I like Nick Fitzgerald a lot. Mississippi State struggled for the majority of the season, but that was one bright spot was Nick Fitzgerald. 1,300 yards rushing, 16 scores. He didn't even start the whole season. That's pretty impressive. I like Nick Fitzgerald a lot. And I think he can throw the ball well enough to be pretty good coming up just in this upcoming season. Let's move along. We've almost done with this list. Once again, the lines are open, 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. If you want to get in, you're more than welcome. We'll talk about the MLB All-Star game tonight. SEC Media Days started Monday. We can talk about this list that I'm currently breaking down. Anywhere you want to go in the sports world, we can. I'm going to continue with my list. If you're just joining, it is the top 20 quarterbacks heading into the 2017 season, according to College Football News. This is not my list. This is somebody else's list. And at 6, one of my least favorite quarterbacks in all of college football, the 8-year senior, J.T. Barrett, Ohio State. And I know you guys are saying I just don't like J.T. Barrett as a quarterback. He's so limited. He is so limited in the passing game. Now, he'll put up huge numbers because they'll play mediocre opponents, and he'll get off against mediocre opponents. So his numbers will be ballooning toward the end of the season. You'll be like, oh, well, he got 3,500 yards and 30 TD passes. But don't let that fool you. I'm just not a fan of J.T. Barrett. But this guy writes he's way underappreciated and unfairly blamed for the Clemson loss. Barrett did whatever he needed to get the Buckeyes into the college football playoff. He's the consummate leader and all-around quarterback who fits the Ohio State. I'm just not a fan. And those games, I mean, here are games, some of the games J.T. Barrett had this past season against better teams. Against Michigan, he went 15 of 32 for 124 yards with a pick. Against Michigan State, he went 10 for 26 for 86 yards. Let me repeat that again. He went 10 for 22 for 86 yards. Against Indiana. Indiana. He went 9 of 21 for 93 yards and an interception against Indiana. And obviously, the Clemson game, he went 17 of 33 for 127 yards and 2 picks. And this guy they have ranked at the 6th best quarterback in college football. Now, clearly, I have a dislike for him, so obviously I don't think he should be 6. Some of you would think he should be 6, but he's been at school 17 years. I'm just not a fan. Like I say, he would put up big numbers this coming season, but it'll be in meaningless games. When he plays against better defenses and better teams, watch how limited he is in the passing game. This is why this offense looked so terrible against Michigan. It looked terrible in the game against Clemson because he's so limited. That's why it looks like that. But he's 6 on this list. You can have him. I have a question. Which quarterback do you think Georgia will land, Fields or Corral or none, and who gets the other? Good question. Right now, I think Fields is more of a Florida State battle. I don't think Georgia is in that mix as much as they think they are. I don't think they are. Now Matt Corral, he has Georgia as his leader, but he openly admits that the only reason he has them as his leader, that's the only visit he's taken other than the USC visit. I don't think you get Fields, and depending on how Corral visit goes, you could get him. But if I'm a quarterback, I wouldn't go to Georgia right now. You brought in my man Eason. You brought in Jacob Eason last year, true freshman. Then you bring in Jake Fromm this year, true freshman. So I just don't know why the top tier quarterbacks would want to go to Georgia. I know one injury, you could be in there, but in that offense, I don't know why you would want to play in that offense as a quarterback, especially Fields. I definitely don't see Fields going to Georgia. Now Corral could, he's more of a pocket passer, fits more of what Georgia likes to do. But if I had to guess right now, and I think a lot depends on Fields, because if Fields goes to if somehow he goes to FSU, which I don't see him. I think he more going to. I think he's a Florida lean. Depending on who you listen to. But I think Field goes to. If Field wants to go to Florida State, then I think Florida would actually get Corral, which means Georgia would get neither. But if Fields goes to Florida, then I think Georgia has a great shot at Corral. Does that answer your question? Oh man. I broke up my list. I had got the 6. I'm breaking down the top 5. Right now, top 5 quarterbacks heading into the 2017 college football season, according to College Football News. And at 5 is Jake Browning. Broke onto the scene last year. Washington Huskies. Sorry, they made the playoffs last year with Browning under center. He had a great season last year for them. He threw for 3,400 yards, threw 43 TD passes, and completed 62% of his passes. So I have no problem with Jake Browning being at number 5. I like Jake Browning. He says that while Browning doesn't have NFL body or look the part of a Sam Darnold, Luke Falk, or Josh Rosen, it's possible that Browning is the best quarterback in the league again. The 43 touchdown passes last year I just mentioned were second in the nation. Big time. Now, my favorite quarterback on this list is at 4. He's a South Carolina guy. He's from South Carolina. And I don't know why he's not at a South Carolina school. But my quarterback at number 4 on this list, my favorite quarterback other than on my own team coming into the season is Mason Rudolph. I love Mason Rudolph. Guy says, welcome to the party. We've only been chirping about him for years as a top shelf pro prospect. True. I don't think that. Maybe last year started building up. I haven't heard the hype around this guy like I think he should be getting the hype. I definitely think he's going to be in New York for the Heisman ceremony. Don't be stunned when the 6'5", 235-pounder who threw for close to 4,100 yards last year and 28 touchdowns with only 4 picks, and then he ran for another 6, goes in the top 5 of the draft next year. So yeah, I can see that. I'm a big Mason Rudolph fan, and once again, shame on South Carolina for not getting that kid. Shameful. Mason Rudolph, big fan, 6'5", 235. I like that kid. Oh yeah, like I said, Kyle, depending on who you listening to. But see, I don't do a lot of listening. I look at what the kid is doing. I listen to what he's doing. I listen to what he's saying. I don't too much listen to what each site may be saying because it's always going to be a spin for your site. I actually just listen to what he's saying. I listen to what he's done. I look at what he's done. He's been to Florida twice. He flew in his mother. He flew in his mother on her own dime to come visit Florida. He had a secret visit before he even decommitted from Penn State. So he's been to Florida twice, and they're already talking about going to a game into the season. So you know, that's how it go. And he could be. I mean, he gonna make another round of visits. But I'm already telling you, he's been to Florida twice with his mother, and the first time with just about his whole family except for his mother. So you can take from that what you will. Take from that what you will. Where I left off at 4. I had 4 Mason Rudolph in this quarterback list. At 3, you recognize his name. He's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson. Guy says, really, why can't he do it all again? It's another great Louisville team, and it's not like he's going to be any less dynamic or amazing, considering he has the experience to go along with the skills. While he might have struggled late in the season when Houston and LSU used the Heisman winner as a hat, that was mostly because the offensive line almost got him killed. Even with all the sacks he took, and even with the problems as a marked man, he will still be special. Expect more of the same. Yeah, there's no reason to expect Lamar Jackson to not be as dynamic as he was last year. I don't think he will win the Heisman. Kind of figured out toward the end of the season, teams start figuring out how to defend him and Louisville. So I don't see him having as great a season as he had last year. But I mean, he will still go over 1,300 yard rushing easily. Hopefully he's improving more in the passing game. But I like Lamar at 3. I'm okay with Lamar. I mean, he could be at 2. I ain't got no problem being at 3. At 2, another guy who's been at school for 17 years, along with JT Barrett, Baker Mayfield. So that's the senior quarterback for Oklahoma, and I like Baker Mayfield. I like him way better than JT Barrett. Way better than JT Barrett. He's at 2. The guy says that at what point does Mayfield start to be considered among the greatest college quarterbacks of all time? If he does it one more time, he might be there after leading the nation in passing efficiency, hitting 71% of his throws for close to 4,000 yards with 40 TDs and only 8 picks, while rushing for another 6 TDs. However, with almost all the top skills guys gone, he'll have to make everyone around him rock. Yeah, they lose a lot of talent. P. Ryan, D.D. Westbrook, Joe Mixon. So Oklahoma, there's a lot of talent, as well as Bob Stoops is no longer there. So it'll be interesting to see how Baker Mayfield does. But I like Baker Mayfield, even though he's been at school, seems like forever. And we're going to make it all the way to number 1. I don't think there's any doubt who's number 1 on this list. Without hesitation, drum roll, please. At number 1 on this list is Sam Darnold, red shirt sophomore, USC. He's the guy. This is the guy that teams are in the NFL right now are tanking for. Clearly not trying to win in 2017 just to try and get this guy. This guy is the supposed next Andrew Luck, the can't miss prospect. Now let's get to what he had to say about him. Now come to Knox. He's so good, he's so talented, and with so much upside. Now all the pro types will try to come up with reasons why he isn't the number 1 overall draft pick in 2018. Whatever. He has to take care of the ball, can't fumble as much as he has to show he can take USC to a Pac-12 title. But in terms of pro talent, he's everything a team could possibly want. It'd be almost impossible to live up to the hype, but he's got the even temperament and the skills to do it. I like this kid. 6'4", 230. in the Rose Bowl. He goes 33 of 53 for 5 TDs, well over 400 yards. I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. As I look at this list, like I said, I was going to have a couple issues with this list. And my first huge issue on this list is, where in the hell is Trace McSorley? If you don't know who Trace McSorley is, that is the Penn State quarterback. Last year he only threw for 3,600 yards, 29 TDs, with only 8 picks. He's not even on this list. So someone tell me, why is Trace McSorley not on this damn list? That's my first real beef, because I'm reading down this list and I'm seeing people who haven't even started a game, a few people who've been in a few games, and then Trace McSorley is not even on this list. And this is not a pro prospect list. This is the best college quarterbacks heading into this season, and nobody's going to tell me Trace McSorley is not one of those guys. So how is Trace McSorley not on this list? Another guy who I would have on this list, I'm not as angry about this guy, is Jake Bentley. I think Jake Bentley should be on this list. But there's no way in hell Trace McSorley shouldn't be on this list. There's no way. There is no way in the world he's not better than some of these guys. I just can't see it. Trace McSorley, who actually won the Big Ten championship last year, not Ohio State and J.T. Barrett, not Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Penn State won the Big Ten last year, and Trace McSorley was a big reason why he went off in the Big Ten championship game. I don't have his numbers put up right in front of me, but a huge monster game against Wisconsin. So yeah, I don't know why he's not on the list. I don't know why I don't know why Jake Bentley is not on this list. Those are my two people who I think should be on the list. I don't know how the Francois is 15th. Don't like that. Don't know how J.T. Barrett is freaking 6th. Don't know how that's possible. Like I said, I don't have no problem with top 5. You can rearrange them, flip them however you want to flip them. But I'm a huge Mason Rudolph fan. I will say that. I will be beating that drum every week. Because I like the kid, not because he's from South Carolina, but because I like Mason Rudolph. I think he's really underappreciated. He's been putting up a huge number the last couple of years without a whole lot of fanfare. But I like Mason Rudolph. Big kid. I like him a lot. So my biggest issue with this list is no Trace McSorley and no Jake Bentley. I think both should be on this list, given who's on the list. But you guys have an opinion on that, you're more than welcome to get in. 864-378-5943. That was the top 20 quarterback list, if you are paying attention. And if you want to discuss that list and tell me who should be on that list, or you disagree with who's at 1 and 2 or wherever, call in and voice your opinion about it, or comment in the inbox right there. I'm going to move away from that for just a second and discuss rivalries in college football right now. And to be flat out honest, you have rivalry weekend, but that doesn't make the rivalry the best, because you play in a rivalry. Right now, there are not a lot of great rivalries in college football right now. They good because you get those teams against each other. You get a Florida State. You get the Bama and the Auburn, the Georgia Techs, the USC, Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State. You know the ones. I mean, I like them. I love them. And I asked, which ones are the best right now? I had Florida State, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Alabama, Auburn. But to me, the clear best rivalry in college football right now is Clemson and Florida State. Yeah, I like rivalries. Are good when both teams are really good. That's why I say Clemson and Florida State is the premier rivalry in college football right now. You look at the last 5 meetings, one of the teams, if not both the teams, have been highly ranked. In the last 5 meetings, at least one of the teams have been ranked in the top 5. They have twice played being ranked in the top 10, and they once played both being ranked in the top 5. And they have I can't remember. I think it's 3-2 the record. I think it's Clemson 3 and Florida State 2. I could be wrong. It may be 3-2 Florida State. But that's the kind of thing that makes a great rivalry. Not only the hatred, the same conference, but the importance of the game. Because you want the game to mean something, and that game means something. Usually the winner of that game is going to Charlotte or Tampa or wherever the hell they had an ACC championship game at. It varies depending on stupid bills that North Carolina passes, but that's neither here or neither here or there. But I like the Clemson Florida State rivalry. I think it's clearly the best going today. But you guys can comment with your favorite. You can come in with your favorite rivalries. Tell me what are your best favorite rivalries going. Call in, let me know which ones are your favorite, which one you think are the best. Like I said, there's a ton of great rivalries out there. But that one right now is head and shoulders above everybody because both teams are winning. They're playing for something. They're highly ranked. These games are on national television. So to me, that is clearly the best rivalry. Oklahoma State probably be second right now. Once again, because both teams are usually ranked. It's not getting a lot of national love like it should. But to me, when teams are ranked and they're playing for conference championships, when that game basically decides the conference championship, then I'm going to boost that rivalry way more than I'm going to boost just a rivalry just because of a rivalry. Like, watching an 8-4 Georgia Tech, 8-3 Georgia Tech against a 8-3 Georgia team, neither one may be ranked. It's a great rivalry for Georgia and Georgia Tech, but how great is the game? How meaningful is the game in a national sense? Locally, yes, you want to beat your in-state rival. Yes, Clemson wants to beat South Carolina, but and vice versa. But like this year, Clemson was head and shoulders above South Carolina. The game is not important nationally at all. At all. So you want to be having rivalries that both teams are really, really good. It's national TV games. It's meaningful in a lot of ways. So tell me what are your favorite rivalries and call me and let me know which ones you like, and we'll discuss that right here on the show. If you're just joining us, I just gave you the top 20 quarterbacks heading into the 2017 season according to College Football News, not my list. Again, I repeat, not my list. I'll tell you number 20 was Kelly Bryant Jr. Pleasant surprise, the Clemson Jr. By way of Calhoun Falls. Big ups. He's on this list. At number 1 is Sam Darnold. And a whole lot of stuff in between that I like and some I don't like. So if you want to talk about that, we can. 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. I'm going to move along. If you're just joining us, if you so happen to catch the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor press conference earlier today, you were treated to a spectacle. It was really good for TV. Two guys who are masters at the game of trash talk, and they was on full display today. Verbal jabs being tossed around in both directions. I enjoyed it a lot. Not a whole lot of major takeaway from it. Like I said, I enjoyed Conor McGregor saying he's going to knock Floyd ass out within 4 rounds. I also enjoy hearing Floyd Mayweather saying that Conor McGregor is a bitch and that he's the A-team in that Conor McGregor only made $3 million in his last fight, and that Floyd, that's training camp money, according to Floyd Mayweather, who does 9-figure paydays, by the way. He doesn't do 7-figure paydays. He does $9 million paydays. So that was entertaining. That was fun to watch today. So any thoughts on the Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather press conference? Share them with me right here on the comments, or you can call in. Once again, lines are open, man. Hey, I want to hear from you. 864-378-5943. Also, discussing rivalries. So if you call in, tell me what's your favorite rivalry going today in college football. Which one you think are the best? So let me know, people. Like I said, I gave my vote. I think the best rivalry right now in college football is Florida State Clemson. The magnitude of the game, the meaningness of the game, plays a whole lot in it. Like I said, the last 5 years, one of the teams have been ranked in the top 5. Twice they played, both teams were ranked in the top 10. And once they played, both were ranked in the top 5. So that's how I do things around here. When I do anything with programs and being elite and the state of something of the rivalry, I go 5 years back. I don't go 10, 20 years. I go 5 years because that's a good sample size to what's going on. People won't say Ohio State, Michigan, but Michigan hasn't been really good of late, and even being good, they haven't beat Ohio State. For all the hype of Harbaugh and Michigan is back, Ohio State has beat Michigan in the last 2 years. So, and that's probably like no telling how many wins in a row, or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 it's been. So to me, it's not great right now because one team is clearly dominating the other team. Michigan just not getting relevant again, so they haven't been ranked or even relevant. So hasn't been meaningful as it has been in the past. USC, Notre Dame, obviously USC was down for several years. Notre Dame is kind of sporadic, up and down here and there, so that rivalry is not as great as it once was. Like I say, now all of these games are huge locally. When I say the best, I mean what's national. I mean, what games are everybody say, I want to watch this game, like I want to see this game, even when it's not your team playing. That's when you know you have a great rivalry and a meaningful game, when everybody wants to watch your game. Everybody wants to tune in and watch your game because all the local rivalries are important for in-state recruiting and other things like that. But when I'm talking about the best rivalries in the sport, I'm talking about the games that all people want to tune in and watch from every coast, from every conference, want to watch it. So that's how I look at it like that. Also, MLB All-Star game tonight. If you want to watch that, National League versus AL. Chris Sale starts for the AL, and Matt Scherzer starts for the NL. Game has already started. I don't know what inning they're in, but if somebody can give me an update, I would appreciate it. That's going on. I just broke down this top 20 quarterbacks heading into the 2017 season, according to collegefootballnews.com. I will rattle off those in just a second. Again, I'm not going to break down the words. Just going to give you the names. You got to tell me what you think. Is there somebody you think should be on the list? Who didn't make it? You can voice your opinion on that. At 20 was Kelly Bryant Jr., Clemson. At 19 was Brandon Wimbush, Notre Dame. At 18 was Austin Allen. At 17 was Jared Stidham. At 16 was Justin Herbert. At 15 was DeAndre Francois. At 14 was Logan Woodside. At 13 was Luke Falk. At 12 was Josh Allen. At 11 was Brett Rippon. At 10 was Quentin Flowers. At number 9 was Josh Rosen. At number 8 was Jalen Hurts. At number 7 was Nick Fitzgerald. At number 6, J.T. Barrett. At number 5, Jake Browning. At number 4, my man Mason Rudolph. At 3, Lamar Jackson. At 2 was Baker Mayfield. And at 1 was Sam Darnold. That is the top 20 quarterbacks according to collegefootballnews.com heading into the 2017 season. Not my list, somebody else's list, not my list. Like I said, I had a couple guys that I thought should have been on this list that are not on this list, and my first beef was clearly Chase McSorley from Penn State should be on this list. I have no idea how he's not on this list. 3,600 yards, 29 TDs, only 8 picks. I have no idea how he's not on this list. There are guys who haven't even started a game on this list. 2 of them. I don't know how he's not on this list. And Jake Bentley. I think Jake Bentley should definitely be on this list. I don't know what to say. I know Chase McSorley should be on the list. I make a case for Jake Bentley being on the list. That's the only 2 people I think should be on the list. The rest of the list, I like the people who own the list. I have a problem. Some of them are rated too high, like JT Barrett is way too high at 6. I love me some Mason Rudolph, so I can say he could be higher. I'm okay with him at 4. He could be higher. Jalen Hurts should not be at 8. I think Quentin Flowers should be higher. Could be higher. You could drop Josh Rosen down because we don't know what he is. Talent-wise, yeah, he's a top 5 guy, but we don't know if he can stay healthy. We haven't saw him be healthy all last year. But the rest of the list, DeAndre Fan Squad should definitely be higher than 15. I just don't like that at all. But everyone else, I'm okay with. A decent list. No Trace McSorley. I am not happy about that at all. That kid should be on this list. There's no way he should not be on this list. That is just insane that he's not on this list. South Carolina fans, Jake Benton is not on this list. You guys are not up in arms. You're not up in arms right now. I don't see the fury or the pain and the rage of. They have Kelly Bryant Jr. on this list. He's appeared in 11 games, Gamecock fans, and he only throw 35 pass attempts. But he's on this list. Your guy's not, or you're not upset, or you're not upset right now. Why aren't you upset about this? Why are you not upset, Gamecock fans? You should be upset about this. Hey, lines are open, 864-378-5943. We've been talking about this list. Also, rivalries in college football. Call in, tell me what's your favorite rivalry right now. Which ones you think are the best right now. You can either comment, you can leave it on the Facebook page, my Facebook page, or you can call and tell me which ones you think. I told you my opinion. Clemson, Florida State, to me, is the best rivalry in college football right now. It's not even close at this very moment. Whenever they get together, the talent on the field is supreme level talent. The games are meaningful. So much at stake. It's head and shoulders right now the best. Who knows? Maybe some old rivalries are pick back up when this, because you got to have both teams. Both teams have got to be good. I don't want to see Clemson being 11-1 every year, beating up on a 6-5 Carolina team. I just don't. That doesn't make it for a great rivalry. It makes Clemson fans happy to beat up on a in-state rival like that. It makes them happy, but it's not what makes the rivalry great. It's when both teams are good and competitive, and each one are taking turns winning, or you win here 2 or 3 here, and so on and so forth. But when you start losing 4 straight and 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 6 and 6 out of 7, it starts to get watered down a little bit as a rivalry. So, which ones you think are the best rivalries in sports right now? In college football, I have Clemson and Florida State is the best right now. Probably followed by Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, simply because of the reasons I just gave. The games are meaningful. It's usually for the Big 12 championship, and that both teams are ranked. Until recently, Michigan just started being ranked and relevant again, so Ohio State-Michigan rivalry is just picking back up. I definitely think Clemson and Florida State right now. Right now, this minute. That's the best in the game right now. About 5 minutes left in the show. Hey, man, let's fill it up with some phone calls, man. 5 minutes left. Let's do phone calls all the way throughout, man. Let's end it on some phone calls. 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. You want to talk about this list, the top 20 quarterbacks heading to 2017, we can. You want to talk about rivalries in college football, we can. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor had their first press conference promoting their fight for August 26th. Very entertaining. If you want to discuss that, you can. Let's end it on a bang. My thoughts on Alabama versus Florida State. First game of the season. My thoughts. What do I think about the Florida State Alabama game? I think it's huge. I mean, it's the biggest opening game in college football history. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Opening up the new Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Heard the seats are just ridiculous. It's going to be a lot of talent on the field. A lot of talent on the field. It'll be interesting to see. Alabama is placing a lot of people on defense, but as we all know, Alabama doesn't rebuild, they reload, especially on that side of the ball. They have a lot of talented guys. I'll be interested to see Florida State offensive line problems that they had last year. They couldn't keep Francois upright, and that is not a team you want to play in Alabama where you can't keep your quarterback upright. Florida State has to find receivers. I don't like their receivers right now, other than Tate. They got to get better on the outside. They lost a lot. Whitfield and Rudolph and a couple more guys. Lost their best offensive lineman, too, on an offensive line that wasn't that great to begin with. So it'll be interesting to see that. How do you replace Dalvin Cook? Cam Akers, the talented 5-star running back. But Dalvin Cook was maybe the second best college football player last year. He might have been the second best college football player out there, especially toward the end of the season. There was nobody better than that. There was nobody better than that guy other than Deshaun Watson playing football last year, in my opinion. Come on. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had a little technical difficulties. It's like I had one of those once a week. I forgot where I was at. But my initial thoughts is Florida State, Alabama, biggest game of the opening weekend of college football ever. It's going to be fun. I ain't going to make a prediction yet. I got plenty of time for that. But that's the thing I'll say about Florida State. Can you replace Dalvin Cook? Can you improve on the offensive line? Can you find playmakers on the outside? Can you keep Francois upright? Defense will be loaded. Get Derwin James back, and you return a bunch of starters. Defense should be outstanding. Alabama's a little bit unknown. They lost a lot on defense, but like I said, they bring a lot of talent in. Jalen Hurts is back, but no O.J. Howard. I forget the kid's name, the receiver. I forget his name. He's gone. But they got Bo Scarborough back. Harris is back at running back. So they'll be built to promote the same power running game. Should be an interesting matchup. I can't wait to see it personally. So that's my thoughts on that Florida State Alabama game. We got a couple more minutes. Man, come on, man. Some phone calls, man. 864-378-5943. We get some phone calls by end this show. I'll stay a few more minutes for some phone calls. Oh, man. It's been a good show, though. And I'll be back. Be back soon. Probably next, what's the day? I'll probably be back next week. Who knows? I might pop up sometime this week and do a show. You never know. The point is, you never know. You just never know. Yeah, so if you're out there watching, about to end the show, if you want to get in, hey, line's still open. I'm letting you get in. I'll let you get in. If you have a question, if you have a comment. But I'm going to get out of here. If no calls in the next 30 seconds or so, I'm going to get out. Let's see. Well, there you have it. Well, this has been Sentell's Intel. And once again, I'm your host, Sentell Whiteman. Thank you for tuning in. If you did, thank you for commenting. If you commented, nobody called, so I can't thank you for that. But I'll see you again soon, real soon. But this has been Sentell's Intel. Thank you, and I am out.